Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
And I think as we are here convened looking at solutions to this COVID-19 crisis pandemic, current and future, I think it's also important that we recognize that there's also a parallel pandemic that is been in existence for quite a period of time that we need to focus on. And that parallel pandemic is called climate change. And the asset owner community have a very important role to play in addressing that. So I'm very glad to have Lawrence from One Planet, which is an initiative that was conceived by President Macron of France to convene the largest sovereign wealth funds from around the world to really focus on how they can use their leverage and their assets and their portfolios to address this parallel, ever-present pandemic called climate change. So I'll leave you to address this issue, Lawrence. Over to you.
Thank you, Hubert, so much. And indeed, there's no question that the issues around the pandemic and climate change are part of the same problem, which is how do we foster a world economy where people and planet can thrive together? So as you mentioned, I'm on mission for the President of France, President Emmanuel Macron, and we published with the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, the One Planet Sovereign Wealth Fund Framework at the Elysee in July 2018, and it seeks to simplify, if you like, the complexity around climate change and how large-scale asset owners, particularly sovereign wealth funds, can integrate climate risks, but also the opportunity around the transition, which is indeed very much on the continent of Africa. I just want to also underscore that I have Richard Collins, I think, on the line, who's one of our leading founding members from PIF, and also Duncan Bonfield, who heads the International Forum of Sovereign Wealth Fund, who's been our lead partner in making this happen, as well as Guillaume Cravero, whom I think you've heard from. So to the point today, I really do, we heard from Ayman and Maher, Ayman about the sustainable infrastructure opportunity in sub-Saharan Africa, and I believe that that is really where the sovereign wealth funds would like to learn a lot more. How can we, as Maher was talking about, structure deal flow that's at the scale that sovereign wealth funds invest in, but that are, as Maher was mentioning, pre-screened. And so I think it's more a challenge to this group. Our members are very open to particularly national sovereign wealth funds and pension funds who are on the ground in market, helping to source the deal flow that can help to facilitate Africa's transition. I also was previously at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and had the opportunity to make investments in Africa, a lot around the issue of financial inclusion. And I have to say, there is a fantastic opportunity in Africa to leapfrog into 21st century solutions that are lower cost than what we're seeing in legacy developed markets. And we've certainly seen this in mobile payments, where you've driven down dramatically the cost of payment systems. And I feel it could be the same kind of opportunity around digitally enabled renewable energy, off-grid energy solutions, pay-as-you-go solutions. These could be all pioneered by Africans and by African institutions. So I know that you only have a few minutes left, and so I think I might turn it over to Duncan to say a few words.
Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.